So part 2 of what I was saying in my last video, because it got right there at the end. And I was saying that your assignment, your actions affect not just, it may not affect you, but it can affect other people like your family, and those that are connected to you. We are the prime example. When our forefathers rebelled against the Most High, it didn't affect a lot of them then, but it affected us today. And we're reaping that. But however, praise to the Abba Yahuah for his mercy, right? That Yahusha, he sent his son to atone for us, but that we now can turn back to him and he will begin to restore and heal us, that we come back in alignment to him. And instead of having the Deuteronomy 28 curses, you'll begin to receive and see in your life and be a witness of the Deuteronomy 28 barakas. Now, at the end of my last video, I said your assignment is way bigger than what you can ever imagine. If you think about it, every person in scripture, their calling or them being chosen was not for a small assignment. It was for a huge assignment. Prime example. Let's go into Noah. The Most High chose him to be the reset. But what assignment did he give Noah? To warn the people and to build the ark. Now, we all done seen the replication of the ark, and that thing is huge. It was not small for just 8 people. But imagine if people had really turned back to the Most High Yahuah. A lot of people would have been able to fit in that boat, but only 8 was spared. Okay. Then we had Hadassah. Hadassah, she was appointed to be replacement of Vashti, but she fasted for 3 yomens, went to the king, and saved a nation of people. Let's not forget Samson. Let's not forget Daud. Let's not forget Joseph. Let's not forget even Moshe. Deliverance of the people. Yahusha. The emissaries. If you go back and pay attention to all those, were those small assignments? No. They were big assignments. Nehemiah and Ezra, we know that Nehemiah was building the wall, rebuilding the wall, the ruined walls, and Ezra, the house of Yashriel. Was those small assignments? No. Let's not forget Jonah, the one that tried to rebel against the Most High and run, and still got rerouted back to doing what he was supposed to do, because he had a big assignment. The Nabiims, old Daniel, and all of them, big assignments. So if you have this mindset, this small mindset of limitation, the Most High is going to break that off of you, because there's nothing small of what he's called and chosen you for. It may not be the same as your brother next to you or your Kutium that's next to you, but you still have a big assignment. Whether you're called to be a witness to Yashriel or the Gentiles or the both, it's still a big assignment. Whether you have 1 talent or 5 talents, that talent and that gift is still called for a big assignment. So this is not a time to think small. You got to think big. Just like these wicked people can think big, and look what they have done. But we know what's behind their power, them fallen ones. But they think big. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of us is thinking small, because we've been so accustomed to getting breadcrumbs. And I wasn't planning on coming on here and prophesying, but let me remind you of Mephibosheth. He was eating the crumbs at first, but Daud remembered. Almost like a representation of the Most High saying he remembers. Is there anybody left of the house of Saul and of Jonathan? And there was Mephibosheth that was left. Daud told him not to be afraid of him, like the Most High tells us not to be afraid of him. And he told Mephibosheth that he will sit at the table with him and dine with him the rest of his life. Mephibosheth was not eating any more crumbs. He was sitting at the feast table with Daud. What does the Most High say? He will set a table in the presence of your enemies as he anoints your head with oil. That's getting ready to happen for a lot of y'all. Those that's been allowing the Most High to prepare you for what's getting ready to come. And you know your assignment is not small. You're just not allowed to share what that assignment is, because you can't share your assignment with everybody. Why? Because you're going to deal with some Sambalites and Tobias. You may deal with some Delilah's trying to cut your locks off, or you may be dealing with Isabel, you know what I'm saying, or just the souls. Someone that's pretending that they trying to mentor you and help you, and because they find out that you their replacement, they going off. They trying to kill you spiritually. So you gotta move in silence. Like Nehemiah, he moved in silence. He went to Layla Tov. Gideon moved in silence. And the Layla Tov to tear down them household idols. Abraham, on the other hand, he ain't care. He went down there and tore them idols up of his dad's household. Your assignment is to pluck up, to tear down, to destroy, to build, and to plant. But it's nothing small about your assignment. There's nothing small about you. Yahusha told every single one of us that has read his word, greater works than you would do than I. And he did amazing things his 33 years on the Arets. Ain't that something, 33? Who else used 33? But he turned water into wine. He took the crumbs or the leftovers of the 5 loaves and 2 fish and made it multiply, because he allowed to the Most High. And they was able to feed many and still have plenty left over. He used Elisha to throw salt in the water to purify it. What about the flour in the pot that had poison herbs actually accidentally thrown in it, and it was edible? See, people are freaking out about gas. People are freaking out about food shortages, something. But did we not forget about the woman that Eliyahu went to go see, and he told her, he said, if you feed me with a cake and some water, your flour will never run out. Because she said, we're going to eat this and die. But he said, you do that, the Most High said, you'll never run out. And she never ran out. The woman with the oil, we already know that situation. The oil multiplied. And it what? Canceled the debt. So there's nothing too hard for you, and it's nothing too hard that the Most High wants to do through you, because it's going to be all ruach led. His power is limitless. And we see in Maccabeum how the Most High used Judah and the tribes. They was fierce warriors. As long as they was walking with Yah, nobody could take them out. Yah took their enemies out. You see what I'm saying? So that's why he tells us not to fear, but don't be ignorant by going out here and picking fights that you can't win. You see what I'm saying? But how I just want to encourage you, don't despise the humble beginnings, but be confident that the Most High is going to prepare you for your assignment. And yes, it's big. It's too big for you to even contain the information, right? But just know there's people that got the same assignments that's going to come and help you along the way. It's not just you by yourself. But you got to come out of that mindset of limitation. You got to allow the Most High to uproot that inferiority and that low self-esteem, rejection, and all those things, so he can rebuild you back up and mold you and shape you into the warrior and the person that he has called you to be here in the Arets, to bring esteem to his name and his kingdom. I hope this encourages you. Barak Shalom.